Through all sports, every stadium in their own sport has had one shape. But then there are baseball stadiums, which are different in every which way. From Fenway's Green Monster to the Cubs' outfield Ivy. They are all different. But were they like this in the past? When baseball was first invented, it was played without a wall, which means you would have to chase the ball if it got over your head or behind you. As the game became more popular, it went into American cities. So the makers of the fields wanted to make more money, so they made walls inside their stadiums so they could charge admission. This also created the home run. The game blew up, and stadiums began to appear everywhere in cities, as some fields would have their fences as short as 180 feet. The MLB would realize that there were too many home runs, and so this era would come to an end, as they made every stadium have a 250-foot minimum. Then, Fenway Park was born, as it had to be squeezed into two streets, creating its dimensions. It also includes a 37-foot high wall in left center field called the Green Monster. Fenway started a new revolution of stadium designs. More stadiums will be built in cities, so they each had their own problems to face to put the stadium within the streets, creating its very own dimension. One owner had a way to change the distance of his walls based on who they were playing, so he could give his team the advantage every game. As people began to go to the suburbs, they would start to make multi-purpose stadiums, so the old stadiums would start to be destroyed. These stadiums would be made for two sports, which really didn't work, as they would have to make sure the other sport would fit inside the stadium, which meant that they couldn't just have natural grass, as they would have to have turf to keep the ground inside the stadiums playable. This would make all the stadiums have similar dimensions with rounded outfield walls. In the 90s, Camden Yards would create a baseball-only stadium as they went back to their own quirky way with new modern touches. Camden features the old industrial building behind the right field wall. Now every stadium has its own unique dimension or feature that separates itself from the rest. Some examples are Yankee Stadium, which has a short right field corner from when Babe Ruth played, as he was a left-handed batter, so he didn't have to hit the ball as far to get a home run. Busch Stadium in St. Louis features the arc in its background, which shows one of their most known features of the city of St. Louis. Chase Stadium in Arizona was the first stadium with natural grass and a retractable roof. Citi Field in New York had the iconic home plate entrance that Ebbets Field used to have. The Phillies Stadium has an LED of the Liberty Bell. Coors Field is hand-laid brick, and it features a clock tower which gives fans a feel as if they were entering Ebbets Field. PNC Park in Pittsburgh shows the beautiful Roberto Clemente Bridge. Wrigley Field in Chicago features that ivy that covers the outfield walls. Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City features a giant crown on top of its scoreboard. Minute Maid Park in Houston features a railroad overlooking the left field bleachers. Rogers Center in Toronto shows the CN Tower in its skyline. In conclusion, MLB stadiums have changed from no wall to having a wall in its early beginnings, to shortened walls, to a gem box shape where every stadium had its own look, to the dome period where every stadium was the same with a rounded outfield wall. And then the Orioles started the current look of stadiums in the 90s when they moved away from the dome and they kept one of their older features to remind people of the past look of the stadium. And it created a movement which every MLB stadium would begin to do, just so that their stadium would stick out. This gave MLB stadiums their own history and remembrance in the hearts of players and fans of today. And here is a little visual example of Miller Park. I got a little poster of it. And yeah, that's MLB stadiums. I'm out. Peace.